Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of Black Powder War by Naomi Novik. This is the third book in the Temeraire series, the first book being His Majesty's Dragon in some countries and Temeraire in some countries. And this is an adult historical fantasy series that takes place in the Napoleonic Wars, except for there are dragons. And this book was actually my Patreon book pick for the month, so every month my Patreon supporters get to vote in a poll for a book that I will read and review that month, and this one won. If you are interested in participating in my content in that way and participating in buddy reads, because moving forward we'll be buddy reading the books that win, I will link my Patreon on the screen. So as this is the third book, there will not be any spoilers for this book, but there might be some little mentions of things, not major spoilers, for the first two books, so I will link my review for the first book on the screen if you don't want any mention of anything that happens. So first off, we talk about the world building. Like I said, this is a series that takes place during the Napoleonic Wars, which I don't have a ton of knowledge of, but I do know that Naomi Novik did her research and that she is actually following like actual battles and things, but it's just adding in dragons as this other component. And in this book, we do get to see other countries. So in the second book, they went to China, and China had a totally different view on dragons and such. And in this book, we get to see the Ottoman Empire and Prussia, or Germany, I think, at the time. And each country really has a different way of dealing with dragons, and that is what we get to experience through the main characters. Next, let me talk about our characters. So this really doesn't have that many new additions for like main characters or anything, because you're obviously following Temeraire and Lawrence, his trainer, dragon rider, captain, and I just really continue to love their relationship. That is what has brought me through all of the books. I didn't like book 2 as much as this book, I will say. Book 2 really dragged and didn't have a lot really going on, and I just found that it didn't have the heart that the other book had, but this book has returned to that heart and that connection between the characters and everything. It was just a lot more fun with that. There's also a couple of additional characters that are very intriguing. There is this guide that is guiding them to the Ottoman Empire, who again is intriguing, I think will be around. They also get to encounter some more dragons. They get to encounter some feral dragons, which are wild dragons, and they all have a little personality. These dragons all talk, so that's where I'm saying, like, with the personality, like, they're all talking dragons, and they're kind of like cat dogs, and they're wonderful, and they are like so funny, so they have little personalities. And then there's also a new kind of dragon that gets introduced, but I don't really want to talk about that because it's a major part of the plot. So all of that was really fun. Next, I'm going to talk about the plot. Like I said, the second book I found really dragged, and I was very hesitant to continue with this series, but this book was much more engaging. There's a lot more going on. They're traveling a lot, but just a lot is happening on their travels, because the second book had a lot of travel as well, but nothing really seemed to happen. And then this, there's a lot more just like action, and there is some like military, like battle strategy and stuff, but it isn't too military like fantasy, because anything that's too military focused I really get bored with. This just had just enough of that, and just enough of that like historical element and everything, that I just found really fun and really engaging, and I am looking forward to the things that this set up for the rest of the series, because I just find this very fun, very soothing, a fantasy of manners as they call it. So I am definitely looking forward to continuing with this series, and I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. So comment below and let me know if you have read the Black Powder War or the Temeraire series and what you thought of it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!